I have a wonderful guest tonight. His name is CT. CT, come on up here. It's time for you to shine, bud. All right. Well, tell us about yourself.
I'm originally from San Antonio, so I can relate to Lackland. Grew up there, graduated, attended Southwest Texas State University, that is now Texas State University. And upon graduation, moved to Dallas. Been here ever since.
Okay, and what do you do for work?
I own a utility construction company, and what we do is we just dig ditches and lay fiber for AT&T Suddenlink.
So you do what every young man wanted to do when he was little, right?
Yeah.
You play in the dirt.
Play in the dirt, and
That's not true. Tell everyone the truth. You sit behind a desk and
I do. I'm
You're the
I'm the
finance
finance guy. So I grew up. My dad was a general contractor, so he had me doing all kind of crazy stuff, climbing ladders and hanging off roofs and stuff like that. So I vowed that I would never get into construction. Went to school, got a bachelor's in business with a focus in finance. Never gonna touch construction. Got in corporate America, did some things, had some success, but ended up going back to construction 20 years later. So I was like, couldn't escape it. So came full circle. So I'm in construction, and like I said, we do utility for fiber optics, telecommunications.
And being an entrepreneur, that's just a 40-hour work week, right?
I'm not going to tell that lie. I don't do 40 hours a week. I have a team. So just the same as I do with real estate, I have a team that helped me reduce 40 hours to a little bit less than that. So.
All right, so you've already got the lifestyle built. Okay, well, let's move on here. Okay. Lifestyles. Why did you join?
Okay, so I joined Lifestyle because, like I said, my dad was a contractor. My great-grandmother owned properties. So I used to ride around with her, collect rents. That was another thing I did not like doing at the time. I didn't understand what was going on. I was too young. So I said I wasn't going to do that either. But then after I went into construction, I said, well, maybe I need to go and get motivated to participate in real estate. And so I joined Lifestyles in April of 2020. And that's how it all came to fruition. And I just needed.
Was it 420?
I think it was 423.
Okay.
2020. It was close, but not exactly 420. But I kind of just needed to be around folks that actually talk the talk, walk the walk, and would provide some type of motivation to actually go out and buy something. Because, of course, I'm scared like everybody else. I'm like, that's a lot of money. I don't want to really try it. But then when you talk to the mentors and even the realtors, and they say, hey, this is what you need to do, you argue with them a little bit, give them a little feedback, push back, but ultimately, you end up buying what they tell you to buy, and it turns out to be a good investment. So that's why I joined.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. In 2020, how old were you?
Ooh, I'm actually 50. So 2020, I was 48.
You're 48. So you spent 28 years not buying real estate.
Yeah.
Why not? You knew you wanted to do it. Well, wait a minute. You knew you didn't want to do it.
I knew I didn't want to do it.
Because great-grandma worked too hard, right?
Too many collections and riding around.
But at the same
with a lot
time,
of money in the car.
You told me you always had it in the back of your mind that you were going to do real estate.
I did, but I didn't have the motivation to do it. I was working, and I didn't have the time. I didn't know who to talk to. The people that I did talk to, they knew less about real estate than I did. At least I had a little bit of working knowledge, but they had even less than I did. So I just needed to be around somebody who knew more and could tell me which way to go.
So 28 years you've missed out on.
28 years I missed out.
Because you came in April, and you immediately set to work. Is that true?
Immediately, yep. Started getting email blasts. I think I went through over 100 And
Now, what was going on in 2020? Anybody remember what happened in 2020? Kind of a scary time. Things were a little sideways in 2020.
yeah.
Yeah. So you picked a great time
Right.
to start, right? Yeah. In the middle of mass pandemonium, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a great time to start anything, obviously. But,
Right.
you know.
But you did. You jumped in. You pulled the trigger. This is the first one you bought. This is back in 2020, right?
Yep.
Okay.
September 2020.
So you can see what it looks like before. You can see what it looks like after. Not a lot of change there, right?
On the outside, yeah.
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 On the inside, this was a member-to-member deal, meaning that a previous member had bought the property almost 10 years prior. They'd rented the property out for a number of years. They'd made their cash flow. They'd made their appreciation. So 10 years before 2020 was 2010. Anybody remember what the real estate market was like in 2010? Yeah, I wish I'd been buying a heck of a lot back then, right?
Yeah.
So 10 years later, they come and they sell this property off to CT, and it needed a little bit of work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Just a little bit, though,
A little bit.
right?
A little bit. I went to go check out the property one day. I think it was a Friday, and I didn't really want to be bothered, but I think I was in Fort Worth. So a friend of mine went with me, one of my friends. So we went over there to check it out, and walked in the house, and immediately we were stepping over stuff. You know, I was like, it's not, this is not how I live, so I couldn't imagine anybody else living like this. But anyway, walked through the house, and it was stuff everywhere. But one of the most interesting things, and I was talking with Chris about this, I went into the master bedroom. So the lady had recently had a baby. And so what she did, or her husband did, I don't know, one of them, they took the liberty of cutting a door that was probably 2 feet wide, because you had to kind of go sideways to get through it. And you had to step into it to get to where the baby was. So it was a door in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, and then my friend was like, I don't know, man. But, we walked through, and another thing, it was a single car garage that had been cut in half to accommodate a washer and dryer. It was nice. They made it, they tiled it. They even put an air conditioning duct in there, so it was cool. They modified the whole place. So those were two things that kind of stood out that I discussed with Chris, I discussed with the realtor. And I was like, that's kind of odd, because you can't park the car in here, because it was half the space of the garage. So I left, and
So you didn't do any of this work, right?
No,
You hired other people.
absolutely.
Give me a hand.
Yeah.
That's the point. Is I was letting him talk up here, and I was just waiting until Chris was going to say,
Well, I was going to jump in, but you beat me too.
oh, okay. I was going to make sure. Because none of that stuff matters, because why are we here to be what? Real estate investors, buying back our time, right?
Right.
And the thing I want you to learn here is every time you lift up a hammer, what do? You lose money. We hire other people to do all the work, right, CT?
Absolutely.
So even though you have a lot of construction experience because your family and everything, you didn't actually do the work, right?
No.
There you go.
I don't have that kind of construction experience, though.
Your experience is writing the check, right?
Yeah,
Who likes that idea?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, the reason why I wanted him to tell these stories is because you oftentimes go into these properties and they look funny. Like, we have a certain way that we live, and you'll go into a property that needs rehab, that hasn't been touched for 20, 30, 40 years, or has been touched repeatedly by Joe Homemaker, right?
Yeah.
And there's funny things in there.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's just sheetrock, right? And
Yeah.
paint, and it's back to being a master suite.
Can't tell if the door was there?
Can't even tell.
No.
All right. So let's take a look at the numbers, right? Where am I going here? There we go. Okay. All right. So you bought it for how much?
150.
All right. Appraised for $175. Your rehab was $7,300. Had to
Right.
fix that funky door.
Yeah.
Right? Anything else that was really large on that rehab? I mean, it's a fairly small rehab number.
No.
No. And how much of that did you do?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Okay. Cash out of pocket, $28,400. This one was not hard money. It went straight conventional. It qualified. Small rehab, straight conventional. So talk to us about your returns right here.
Okay, so it rents, currently rented for $1,500. So the lease expires at the end of May, and then that rent is going to go up. So right now,
Who likes it? How do you thank your renter each year, CT?
what's that?
How do you thank your renter each year?
Raise the rent.
Yeah, raise the rent.
There you go.
Yeah. So it's a 1-year contract. So you always, you increase the rent. So $1,500 a month. I think I was telling Chris that on this particular property, my note is, no, the note on this one is
Like $780, right?
$741.
$741.
And that's principal, interest, taxes, insurance. It's the whole everything.
And what's the new rent rate going to be?
Oh, at least $1,700.
At least $1,700.
Whoa!
$1,700.
Guys, do you realize what they're saying here? He's going to raise this from $1,500 to $1,700. So instead of making $400 a month, he's going to make $600 a month. Give him a hand. That's easy.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
But wait, there's more, right? Talk about the equity real quick.
Equity, when I bought it,
It was there, right?
it was $13,000, but we looked it up today.
What's it worth now?
200 and what, 87?
287.
Yeah,
So you've got 123,000 in equity sitting in this property,
in a year and a half.
year and a half.
Who knows the answer for that? What is that called? Anybody know? Pee in your pants, exciting, man. Give him a hand. That's awesome, CT. Good job.
Thank you.
But you didn't stop there, right? You
Nope.
continued to buy. So
So
last year you doubled up. So tell us about those two. You got Plum Tree and Old Town Road, right? One of them's a
Right.
new build.
One's a new build.
The other one's not.
Livingston, Texas. It's a minute and a half from the lake, which I didn't know anything about Livingston until I bought this house. But it's very nice if you ever want to go there. So I bought this house. I paid $143,000 for it. It leases for $1,535 right now. They just moved out. That lease is going to $1,700, and my note on that one is $547 a month.
You got $1,000 a month.
Who thinks real estate works?
And then the last one I bought at the end of last year, I paid $90,000 for it, and I checked it today, and it's valued at $128. So the equity capture is more close to $38,000, and I've just owned that one for 4 months. So, and it leases for $1,065. My note is $333 a month. So that's about $600 on that one.
So if you add all this up, this is even before you do the raises, he gave himself a $19,000 raise, a $19,000 a year raise, tax-free. Who likes that? Not bad for, only doing this a little bit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Give him a hand. That's huge.
All right, so how's your life changed since you joined?
It's changed because when you get around a group of people who know what they're doing, it's like playing with I don't like Luka that much because I'm a Spurs fan. But it's like playing with Luka, He makes your game better, just like anybody who
Well, no, Spurs is a good team. They won 5 championships. How many did the Mavericks win?
One.
They won 1. Is 5 better than 1?
5 is better than 1.
And when the Spurs win at Valero, they give you a free cup of what?
I don't know. I haven't been to the same.
Well, they give you a free cup of coffee. When the
Oh,
Mavericks win, what do they give you the next day?
Like-
Nothing, because you don't win shit.
Oh, there you go.
You got a chalupa?
I was saying all that to say that they make you do better. You feel better. You're more confident, and you'll go out and actually do what you say you're going to do. Just like he said, he kept his promise. You keep your promise because they're not going to let you back away from it if it's a good deal. If it's something bad, they're not going to let you do that either. But anyway, that's what it did for me. It boosted my confidence, and I was able to go out and start buying properties.
All right, so talk to us about your goals. Short term?
This year, I want to purchase 4 properties. I'm going to refinance 1, and I'm looking forward to it. So I actually have to get on the ball because I've been working too much. But yeah, I want to do 4 this year, refinance 1, and then my long term is by 2030, I want 40 doors. I probably shouldn't have put properties, but I want 40 doors, which means I'm going to have to get into multifamily pretty soon.
Who thinks he's going to do it? Give him a hand. You know he will. What? It's like Pringles chips, guys. Did you ever see those little circles of Pringles chips? The cheddar cheese ones? Did anybody ever take one out, eat it, and put it back? Who ate half the damn jar? Yeah, that's what it's like. It's addictive.
It is. It's very
You
addictive.
ate it all.
You eat it all, damn right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Well, you didn't do this alone. You had a team.
Yep. So Chris, of course, is the first phone call. I've also talked to Rick a couple times. He was very, he gave me a lot of good information because Chris and Rick kind of have converse methods.
I buy crap. Rick doesn't buy anything that's not 10 years older or newer.
Right.
Who likes we have different mentors with different skills? Yeah, so there's a good balance is what he's
His
saying.
average at the time was like 1987 or something like that.
My average is 1926. Old.
Sam was the realtor that we had.
Sam's back there. See that man back there? Hundreds and hundreds of houses he found for members.
Yeah. We had several heated conversations about that property. But I ended up buying it anyway, and it was the best thing ever. So I appreciate it, Sam.
He'll get a Christmas card.
Yeah, a Christmas card. A text, probably.
Thank you for making me $100,000.
Capital Concepts was the lender. Kerry Donham, I don't know if he's here, but I'm working with him on my next one currently. McCall Property Management takes care of everything. I mean, the only time I hear from these guys is if it's over a certain dollar amount, then they'll notify you and ask you, hey, do you want to make this repair? You have a decision. But if it's under a certain threshold, you don't even have to worry about it. And then Straight Line Foundation goes out and they'll check and make sure that everything's good. You don't have to do any kind of repairs and stuff. So,
Cool.
and the guy that did my rehabs, his name is Carlos. I don't know if he's here either, but he is with RAE Solutions, and he does very good work.
Okay.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Good
You want to
deal.
take a couple questions?
Yeah,
CT?
sure, why not?
Anybody in the room have a question? Okay, let me grab a microphone. I'll run. The question was, do you self-manage or do you use McCall
I don't self-manage anything. McCall manages it all.
He writes a check for everything. So when we show the numbers up here, that's after whatever the fees are. So, anybody else in the room? Oh. Yeah, that's pretty quiet for a Cuban. Here we go.
Trying to be polite.
Okay.
I'm in a new city after all.
Yes.
Okay, you hesitated for 28 years before you bought your first house. And then you waited another 5 months before you bought another one after joining. What made you finally pull the trigger? Like, what was it? Was it the numbers? Was it the house? Was it, what was it?
Well, the reason why I bought that property,
Great question.
Sam sent the house directly to me. So you'll get email blasts that go out to the world, and you have to respond pretty quickly, and then you get tagged. So I responded to, I don't know, 20, but I was always 4, 5, 6. I was down the line. That one I got directly sent to me, so I got a chance to look at it before anybody else did. So that was the reason why I bought that one.
Luck is where opportunity meets preparedness. Probably when he first saw stuff, he wasn't prepared mentally. Then after he evaluated a bunch of deals, he knew his numbers, the right deal came, and boom, he jumped on it.
Yep.
Okay, do we have any online? Okay, Ember, let's take
All
one or
right.
two online.
We have a question from Jim. He was asking if that includes closing costs, escrow, etc. for your
Everything.
cash out of pocket.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, guys, when you see our numbers, when we say cash out of pocket, it's after everything. The appraisal, all those numbers, they're already baked into those numbers.
Yeah.
Okay?
I
Great
was
question.
asking if you have a specific system as far as your rehab and, like, for example, what type of paint and countertops you put in there.
I have no idea.
He hires a contractor.
Yeah, Carlos goes out there. He just says, "Hey, this is what needs to be done." I say, "Okay," and he gets it done.
Good contractor will say, "Do you want the gray package or the beige package?" And you get to pick that, and that's it.
I didn't even have that.
Which is the
What
best
package?
color paint?
All right.
Stonemason gray?
Yeah.
Or Lovejoy yellow?
Yes.
Joyful yellow.
Joyful. Yeah. Not that you know anything.
I'm a group.
You don't use my same colors, do you?
I don't, no.
You
I have a red door, but it's a different red.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
See, red and
Anyway.
yellow don't go together. It looks like McDonald's. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Let's take one last one here, quick. The question was, how long are you planning on holding the single-family properties?
I'm going to try to go by the rules, which is what, less than 5?
I typically teach you 3 years.
Yeah.
Why 3 years? Because after that, things start breaking down. So if we buy them, we put in brand new appliances, everything has a 2-3 year warranty. What happens after 3 years? The Chinese satellite goes up and blows up every single thing. Am I right? So why not sell it before it becomes a headache and then buy new ones, everything's new again? Okay?
Yeah, that's why I left that answer open.
We were talking about this deal just in the back office before we came up here, and he wants to refinance it, rent it out for one more cycle,
Yeah.
cash flow it, and then he'll consider selling.
Yeah.
So that would be a 3-year hold.
Yeah, the numbers tell the story, guys. It really does. So, but I'll cover all that, why, behind all the questions you guys are asking in the seminar itself.
So on the new bill, it's a little different because I have a 10-year warranty on that.
Okay.
So I got to figure out how long I'm going to hold
Yeah,
it.
because you can just refinance it. That's just a
Yeah.
different model.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. All right, well, let's give him a hand. Thank you so much for
Appreciate it, man.
sharing.